got to be just have your wits about you, particularly up here at turn 1 as well. It's gusting wind, so it's not really directional at the moment. As you can see, 30 minutes of Moto3 FP2 has already got underway. The green light panels light up around the track to signify that the start of the session has got underway. We're seeing riders jump the course and cut the course all the way down through the S's. That's just to save a little bit of time, of course. And we pick up yesterday's fastest rider, Max Keeles. This is the place he made his debut last year, and not really a surprise or any shock to see that it's a track that he knows very well from last season, and straight out of the crate and in P1.
Absolutely, yeah, a dominant course yesterday, it has to be said, for Max Keeles. The gap at the end was just under 2/10. Guido Pini, the only other rider to get in the 2:13s at the end of practice yesterday. Here he is on your screens, the number 94, but Keeles is the standout star from practice. And overall on Friday, he said he had a great feeling and this track suits his style. He's obviously been here before, as you say, Kiko. Hadn't been to Thailand or Brazil. No one had been to Brazil before, but he hadn't been to Thailand either, and was at the front in both of those races. But he did say yesterday, and we saw, didn't we, in practice, that he just needed to calm down a little bit in the afternoon, was pushing a little bit too hard, was hyperactive, as he put it yesterday. I think the team maybe just had a word with him, because we did see him have numerous moments on the front end, quite bumpy around here. So when we see riders having sort of a front end moment, it obviously probably looks worse to us than it does feel to them on the bike, and it's obviously mostly all under control. But Keeles did mention in his interview yesterday that he was just riding a little bit too over the limit and pushing a little bit too much in the afternoon session, and then of course went out and set that 2:13.757 towards the end of the session to lay a real marker down yesterday, it has to be said. And all these riders now are chasing the 28 to see if they can lay a hand on him, lay a glove on him ahead of qualifying and of course in the Grand Prix tomorrow.
Guido Pini was the first rider to actually set a new lap record yesterday. It was a 2:13.929. It's 100 quicker than Matteo Bertelli's old lap record from 2025. Obviously Keeles got the better of Pini, but both of them under the previous existing lap record. This rider here not quite able to get into the 2:13s, and actually 3/10 off Guido Pini in third place. Alvo Carpe, very, very solid and consistent start to the weekend, but he does need to find a little bit of time. A 2:14.202, not really cutting the mustard yesterday in terms of troubling Keeles or Pini.
No, but he was happy yesterday, Carpe. He said at the sort of end of the day on Friday that he felt much better than a week ago over in Brazil. Said he didn't have the best feeling still here, but we're there or thereabouts. Obviously he doesn't want to be just under half a second away from the top time in Keeles, but of course when you sit in P3 and there's only Pini, who is the only other rider within half a second of Keeles, then it was a decent job done by Carpe yesterday, and he was just happy to have a much better feeling than he did over in Brazil. Finished 19th on Friday over in Brazil and did salvage a P4 at the end of play last time out over in Guyana. So it's a much better start to the weekend for Carpe, and he recognised that and he feels much better on the bike, but he also knows that he's got a little bit of work to do if he wants to take the fight to Keeles. But he's aiming for pole position today, is Carpe, and sounding a lot more confident than he did a week ago.
We're looking at Adrian Fernandez. He's already through to Q2. Of course, he's learned from his mistake over in Guyana when he couldn't make the cut on Friday afternoon in Brazil. He's gone through already in 11th place yesterday. So solid stuff from Adrian Fernandez, doing what he needed to do. Likewise from this rider here, our star rookie, Rico Salmela from Finland. Fantastic stuff from the 18-year-old. He finished yesterday's running in 8th place, so he also bagging himself a Q2 spot directly on Friday practice.
Yeah, coming good now is Rico Salmela, isn't it? It's not taken him long. He said he struggled at the end of the weekend in Thailand. He was a bit surprised how big of an adaptation change it was to the KTM from the Honda he was riding in last year's Moto Junior Championship. But obviously picked up a great result over in Brazil, was in the top 5 on Friday. Last time out qualified 9th, and then finished, of course, in the top 6. And he's got back-to-back Q2s now in Moto3. So Salmela really looking strong again, which is great to see for the young Finn.
We said at the top of the show that this rider on your screen, Matteo Bertelli, enjoyed his best session of the season yesterday afternoon on Friday practice. He hadn't actually been in the top 10 all season across any session. He was in the top 10 in both yesterday, P9 in FP1 and P4 in practice. Is Matteo Bertelli back to some kind of form that we know he's capable of?
Well, it certainly looks that way. It's his first Friday top 10 since Indonesia last year, so a good job from Bertelli, who's really struggled, it's got to be said, to find any sort of feeling this season, which has been a bit of a shame to see. A couple of DNFs, although the Brazil one last time out was not his fault. Jesus Rios has got a long lap penalty for that incident up at turn 4 after the red flagged restart. But he said it was a positive day yesterday, Vitelli, which is great to hear. Obviously, podium finisher here last year, so it's a track that he has confidence on and good memories at, and he just needs to continue building on the confidence gained and improve a little further yesterday on the pace if he wants to be in that podium fight. But a very solid day at the office for Vitelli on Friday.
Happy days all round for Alessandro Tanucci's team, because making it 3 out of 3 in terms of getting into Q2 on a Friday afternoon. Joel Esteban, our pole sitter from last time out, he was sick yesterday. Got to say though, and I've said it plenty of times already this year, Casey O'Gorman, very, very impressive. 7th in the morning, 10th in practice. That is exactly the same as what happened in Goiânia when he was P10 there as well. And he's another one who's got through to every Q2 session so far via Friday. He's not needed that extra track time in Q1. So very, very impressive stuff from the Irishman, who currently sits 6th in this Moto3 FP2 session.
Yeah, really impressed, as you say, Kiko, with Casey O'Gorman this season. He showed last year when he filled in for a couple of riders in a couple of teams on a couple of different manufacturers as well, that he had pace to run inside the top 10 and even a little more in Moto3. A really exciting talent, as we know, hailing from Ireland, and yeah, back-to-back Friday top 10s now for Casey O'Gorman after finishing 13th in his opening Grand Prix of the season in Thailand, and he's looking for back-to-back top 10 finishes as well. He said he was loving it here yesterday, felt really comfortable from the beginning, and when a rider like Casey O'Gorman, of course a rookie in Moto3, is landing at a circuit like this that he's never been to and feeling comfortable straight away. A lot of riders yesterday, and understandably so, were saying it's such a technical track, very, very easy to make a mistake. Even riders like Marc Marquez, who have obviously won here 7 times in the past and have, of course, got